Good morning, Lakewood. We are all well aware of a massive snowstorm heading in our direction. We're expecting snowfall between 8 to 12 inches and then having subsequent frigid temperatures the next couple days. The frigid temperatures are going to inhibit the snow melting, so we really need to take good precautions. I'm glad to hear that the private schools have already called for a Friday dismissal, half-day school, and your loved young ones will be home shortly and you'll enjoy them for the rest of the day. My colleague, Deputy Mayor Ackerman, has reported to me that the Department of Public Works is already out salting and sanding all morning long in anticipation of the storm. The purpose of salting early is that as the snow falls, we'll still be able to properly clear the paths despite the frigid temperatures that are going to follow the snowfall. We're asking all individuals to please park their vehicles off the roadways. Put it into your driveways, pull it up in your front lawn. Just keep your vehicles off the roadway to enable good snow cleanup as the snow falls. Garbages, if you have garbage pickup scheduled over the next couple of days, try to pull your garbage back as close to your property as possible. Actually, leave it on the end of your property. Our trucks will be able to get to it. If indeed we have massive snowfall and the trucks are busy with snow plowing and your garbage is not picked up in its proper time, have no fear. Just leave your garbage pail out and the next day we'll be retrieving it. Those that are signed up for the township text messaging will get updates and messages with regard to plowing. My colleague, Mayor Lichtenstein, who is the liaison to all emergency services, has called for a meeting this afternoon with all emergency services, volunteer and paid. Police, EMS, Hatzalah, Chaverim, LCSW, Bikocholim, Chesed of Lakewood, all the various organizations to get together and just go over once again. We feel we have it down to a science. However, we can always improve for the future. One of the improvements I've done now is the volunteer organizations put their lives in harm's way as they go out in treacherous weather as they help people such as you and me. To that extent, I've made available to all our volunteer organizations buckets of salt which will be placed in the Office of Emergency Management building, and any volunteer organization that needs to avail themselves for salt, buckets of salt, while they're doing their mission, please feel free to stop by to pick up. Township did an amazing job with the salting right now. They're out there doing all the salting. We ask you now to do your part. Please remember to shovel your driveways, to salt your steps. It's important. Go out, get yourself a shovel. It's important. Small shovel will do a lot of work. There are people that have the mentality of, I will just let the sun melt it as days come by. Keep in mind, people are walking in front of your property. It's the law. The law is you must shovel the property in front of your house. Please salt your own steps to avoid any injuries. And there are two types of salt which can be used. You can either use the rock salt or you can use calcium chloride. My preference is using the calcium chloride because the calcium chloride does not ruin the steps. I've heard in the past people have mentioned that they don't use the salt because the salt can break the steps. Better break your steps than to break a bone. So that's my simple philosophy. Please take care of that. The way to get the salt out of the bag is a very simple solution. Don't put your hand into the bag because the chemicals and the salt can be abrasive to your hands. Instead, here's a nifty idea of how to make yourself a small spreader. Take a bottle of Ajax or Clorox that you may have in your house and get a utility knife. And with the utility knife, basically cut down in the front, on the side, and then all around. Once you have this nifty item, you can then take it to pour out from the salt and spread it around your driveway. Last but not least, please stay off the roadway. For your safety, for everyone's safety, try to keep your driving to a minimum. If the governor calls for a state of emergency, it may not necessarily require a parking prohibition. However, for everyone's safety, please remain indoors. If you need to drive, remember there's a state law. You must clean off your entire car, not just do one of those little portholes in the windshield, but rather your entire car needs to be cleared from snow. The roof needs to be cleared, the front needs to be cleared, your trunk, your hood, all needs to be cleared off from snow to prevent any of it flying off to the vehicle behind you. Please drive with your headlights on, and please remember to stay safe. Last but not least, I've mentioned in previous videos about pulling your pets inside, and people have asked me, where does that come from? Well, with the frigid temperatures coming in subsequent days, please bring your pets indoors. We've had 2 incidents where immediately after last storm, our Department of Public Works was called with regard to pets that had passed away during the storm. One individual, his donkey died, another individual, another pet had passed away and was looking to how to dispose it. So again, It will be cold. Please salt, please sand, please shovel, please drive safely. And last but not least, please keep in mind your neighbor. Do you live next to an elderly? Do you live next to somebody who's infirm? Please assist in shoveling and helping them. Stay safe, stay warm.